Today we're going to talk about the little plated dessert I posted on Sunday. The idea was really simple. I wanted to do a plated dessert around a pineapple. Pineapple is one of my mom's favorite fruits. I feel like a lot of pastry chefs would agree with me. A lot of your inspiration comes from cocktails and essentially paired flavors that you know for a fact work well together. That's how I started with the concept of having pineapple in the dish. I realized later on that it require white rum. White rum is primarily the alcohol that goes into a pina colada, but did not have white rum. Nobody at my house drinks, so there was no point in buying a bottle of alcohol. I did, however, have some bourbon at home, so just ran with that idea. Since the whole concept started with making something my mom would like, I knew that the dessert needed to have a frozen element. She loves anything frozen. That's how I started off with the idea of doing a parfait, since it's not a frozen element I've worked with quite a lot. For the parfait, I started off by making a really light, lovely creme anglaise, but I made it with jaggery instead of using white sugar. Felt like it would be a really nice pairing with coconut. I whisked in a little bit of a whipped cream and a little bit of coconut cream that gave it that really nice coconutty flavor. And then after tasting it, felt like it was quite sweet. And that's when the lime sort of came into picture. Just wanted to balance out the sweetness. Froze them into these little lovely donut molds, and I think it ended up looking really cute. Then with the pineapple, wanted to keep it really simple. My mom loves charred pineapple. Anything charred, you tell her something's tandoori and she's ordering it for sure. So I poached it in its own liquid and then charred it using my blowtorch. There was a lot of liquid still left, which I didn't want to go to waste, which is why I cooked it down further with a little bit of sugar and just deglazed the pan with some bourbon. And I think it was one of my favorite elements on the dish, even though it was the last, sort of an afterthought kind of element. The last and final element, it needed a bit of crunch, is what I felt. It needed some texture. Everything was too smooth or squishy, which is not an exciting texture to have on a plated dessert. You want the balance of flavors as well as the balance of texture. So I knew either I could do like a twee, which in this case just did not make a lot of sense to me because it would end up getting really soggy as soon as it came in contact with either the pineapple or the parfait itself. And I had the thought of doing like a ragi soil instead of a regular flour based soil. I cannot explain to you why I did that, but I added a little bit of cinnamon to that so that it's a ragi and cinnamon soil. Again, flavors that sort of pair well together. So we started off wanting to do like a pina colada inspired dessert, ended up with similar flavors, but not quite pina colada at all. And yeah, that was about it. I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown and hope to do more of these. So see you again. Bye.